Frontline Briefing, uncovering modern warfare's hidden battles.
November 22nd, 2024. Zaporizhzhia region. A Russian ammunition train carries enough explosives to level a city. $127 million of weapons are heading to the front. 3 divisions are waiting for these supplies to launch tomorrow's offensive. But Ukraine has been watching this rail line for weeks. They know every schedule, every checkpoint, every weakness, and they prepared something Russia has never faced before. 12 modified racing drones wait in hidden positions. Each costs $400 to build, together less than $5,000. Each trails a fiber optic cable thinner than a fishing line. This cable changes everything. Russia's defense seems perfect. Electronic warfare vehicles are jamming everything. Panzer air defense is scanning the sky. Machine gun nests every kilometer. Artillery is ready to strike drone operators. But Ukraine discovered something crucial. You can't jam light traveling through glass. The plan is audacious. Launch while under artillery fire. Fly through the jamming that should blind them. Navigate machine gun fire. Penetrate air defenses. All to hit one specific train car carrying thermobaric weapons. The operators know they're sacrificing themselves. Russian artillery will find them. They've spread across 3 bunkers knowing some won't survive. But if even 4 drones reach the train, the mission succeeds. The window is 97 seconds. That's how long the train will be exposed in open terrain. Too far from strong points, too vulnerable to defend. After weeks of watching, they know exactly where to strike. At 13:47, the motors power up. The electromagnetic spike immediately reveals their position. Russian sensors light up. Artillery begins turning. The operators make their choice. The first artillery shell lands 800 meters away, close enough to shake dust from bunker ceilings. Russian gunners are walking their fire closer. 3 minutes until they find the exact position. The drones split formation immediately. 4 high, 4 low, 4 straight through. A Russian BTR opens fire. Tracers arc through morning air. Machine guns are trying to hit targets moving faster than cars on a highway. Russia activates their secret weapon. The Jatel system costs $10 million. It floods every frequency with interference. Enough power to jam any drone within 30 kilometers. The most powerful electronic warfare on the battlefield. 3 drones go dark instantly. Shrapnel from artillery has cut their fiber optic cables. They switch to radio control and immediately get jammed, flying blind until batteries die. But 9 drones keep flying perfectly. Inside the Jatel, operators can't understand. They're pumping out maximum power. Every frequency is saturated. How are these drones still controlled? They don't realize fiber optic cables are immune to their $1 million system. The jamming creates unexpected problems. Russian forces can't talk to each other. Their own radios are jammed. The BTR can't warn the Panzer. The Panzer can't coordinate with infantry. They were blinded themselves. Second artillery round lands closer. The Panzer air defense system acquires targets. Twin autocannons open fire, 5,000 rounds per minute, creating a wall of metal between drones and trains. But the drones move like drunk hummingbirds, randomly changing direction every 2 seconds. 2 drones explode. Orange fireballs at 2,900 meters. 7 remaining. They scatter in 3 dimensions. Some climbing, some diving. One jinxing sideways. The gunner must choose which group to engage. He makes the classic mistake. Targets the high group because they are easier to track. But the low group races toward the train unopposed. By the time he realizes, it's too late to re-engage. 4 special drones release thermite. The charges burn at 2,500 degrees. Railroad steel melts at half that temperature. 4 sections of track become puddles of molten metal. The train can't retreat. Batteries flash warnings. Constant maneuvering has drained them faster than calculated. They need 30 seconds to reach the target. Have maybe 20 seconds of power. One drone's motor dies completely at 100 meters, but physics saves it. At 97 kilometers per hour, the dead drone glides the final distance. The operator calculated perfectly. Newton's first law becomes their weapon. 6 drones remaining. Russian soldiers fire everything. Rifles, machine guns, and even RPGs as improvised flak. But the drones follow the railroad center line, using the train itself as cover. Impact. The lead drone hits the coupling. The shaped charge creates a molten copper jet. 4 more impacts in sequence. Fuel valves rupture, brake lines severed. The 6th drone penetrates wagon 22. Inside Wagon 22, 12 tons of thermobaric rockets reach a critical temperature, 447 degrees Celsius. Auto ignition point. The fuel-air mixture detonates with the force of a small nuclear weapon. The explosions are visible from space. Wagons 20 through 24 vaporize into plasma. The blast wave flips wagons 25 through 47 like toys. Mushroom cloud climbs 1,400 meters. In 4 seconds, everything changes. 127 million in military assets destroyed. The only rail line feeding 3 divisions was severed. Tomorrow's offensive impossible. All from drones costing less than a used car. Ukrainian operators in Bunker 1 barely escape. 4th artillery round impacts meters from their position. They sprint through connecting tunnels to the backup bunker. 2 operators don't make it. Their sacrifice enabled the mission. Russian command falls into chaos. 3 divisions without ammunition. Supply line cut for weeks. Offensive cancelled. Commanders are demanding answers about how homemade drones defeated every defense. The fiber optic secret is exposed. Russian engineers find cable fragments, realize their $10 million jammers were useless. Years of electronic warfare development were defeated by technology from the 1970s. Cost comparison stuns analysts. Ukraine, 5,000 in drones, 2 brave operators. Russia, 127 million destroyed. The message spreads globally. Electronic warfare just became obsolete. Billions spent on jamming systems worldwide are suddenly questionable. If fishing line defeats $10 million vehicles, what's the point? Every military is rethinking its defense. Supply lines are now death traps. Trains can't hide, can't maneuver, can't survive precision strikes. Every ammunition shipment becomes a potential catastrophe. Logistics, not tactics, determine modern wars. Sacrifice tactics evolve. Ukraine knew artillery would find them, planned for it. Spread operators, knowing some would die. Accepted losses for strategic gain. Cold calculation replacing traditional heroics. Physics beats technology. Fiber optic cables from the 1970s defeat 2024 jamming. Momentum carries dead drones to targets. Thermite melts steel regardless of defenses. Basic science trumps complex systems. Cost asymmetry breaks militaries. Can't spend millions defending against thousands. Can't assign divisions to guard every train. Can't sustain 25,000 to 1 loss ratios. Economics ends wars before battles. The knowledge spreads instantly. Every insurgent group is watching. Every military is taking notes. Fiber optic drones are entering mass production. The genie can't go back in the bottle. Air defense doctrine collapses. $20 million system defeated by geometry. Can't engage below the minimum angle. Can't track random movement. Expensive complexity losing to cheap chaos. Tomorrow's weapons are yesterday's technology. Not about the newest systems, but the smartest applications. Ukraine is proving that creativity beats capability. The revolution is complete. 5 lessons from the destroyed train. Lesson 1. You can't jam physics. Radio waves are vulnerable. Light through glass isn't. Simple truth worth billions in useless jammers. Lesson 2. Trains are perfect targets. Predictable route. Can't evade. Can't hide. Every supply line becomes a killing field. Lesson 3. Sacrifice wins wars. 2 operators knew they might die. Continued anyway. Their deaths enabled victory. Modern warfare demands terrible choices. Lesson 4. Cheap beats expensive. 5,000 destroys millions. Racing drones defeat military systems. Kitchen table engineering beats defense contractors. Lesson 5. Knowledge spreads instantly. This tactic is now worldwide. Every group knows fiber optics beats jamming. Every military is vulnerable to the same attack. The trap was perfectly executed in weeks of observation, minutes of execution, seconds of impact, lifetime of consequences. Russia learned too late, spent billions on electronic warfare, defeated by cables costing pennies per meter. Technology isn't power. Application is. Ukraine changed warfare forever. Proved small teams with simple tools can destroy empires. David doesn't need high-tech slings anymore. Every military should be terrified. If Ukraine can do this with racing drones, what can others do? The age of expensive defense is over. And when $5,000 destroys 127 million, traditional military superiority is meaningless. Welcome to the age where fishing line defeats fighter jets.